Hello, I'm Mr. Fleming, and this is my Studio One art project and the first project for the year. I've seen most of you in the classroom, and some of you are working remotely, and that's just fine. I will do my very best to bring the lesson plan and the end result to you so that you know exactly what we're going into. This is our first project, and with any project in art, we should be looking specifically at what element of art we're using to produce what principle of art. And here we'll be using line, and here the line is literally my name. And what we're going to do is turn this line into a shape. So I drew out my line, and then got a thick marker and made the line a little bit thicker. And you can see my name here, Mr. Fleming. I know many of you don't read cursive, and that's just fine. This is really just a device for us to produce the artwork. We'll use these tools to be more creative later on. From there, I did the outside line, and now I have a shape, two lines that enclose together, which make the shape Fleming. What I did is I retraced it so that it reflects on each other. Now, you can do this with tracing paper, you can do this by folding the paper, you can use a lighting board, but you need some system to take the shape right here and reflect on it to get this very symmetrical shape, because we want to use line to create symmetry. Now, for a lot of you, you kind of lose that name in there because it's lost in all those lines, but that really is to give us fields, and in those fields, we'll place our cover. Now, in class, everybody, for the most part, has got themselves here, but I want to stress here, you might and you should have more than one design. You should work out several designs and letters. They can be roughs, but you want to have more than one idea. Just following the instructions is important, but the instructions are to leave some latitude for you to explore and to grow. So make sure that you have a design that you really do like. Make sure you have lots of planes to put in that color, and then stop. Now, if you're working remotely for the next 2 days, that doesn't mean 2 days off. My class periods are 45 minutes each, and you're expected to work at least 3 hours outside the classroom on this project. I do know you have other classes, but I think you have to manage your time to make this happen. This work got done inside the classroom. You can still do it at home. You should have some way to practice color, because that is a main objective in this project. We've developed this field of symmetry so that we can apply color. You need to be purposeful in the colors you've chosen. Now, most people are familiar with the color wheel, at least in an intellectual way. They can say things like the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow, the secondary colors are green, purple, and orange, but you need to be more intimate in your understanding of what those color systems mean and apply them. Over here we have an example of primary colors being used, red, yellow, and blue, and I'm overlapping blue and red to get the purple. You can't just put any purple in there. You've got to match the intensity. Here we have the horses if they're made of thin pieces of glass overlapping each other, and the color does make sense. You can use primary colors. That's a choice you can use. Another choice you can use is secondary color, purple, orange, and green. They have a completely different effect. They're not near as childlike, they're more acidy, and they have a corrosive or even an anxiety-provoking effect. Over here we have analogous colors, and you should know these terms, and if you go on the LMS board, I have paperwork there for you to look at, and one of them is this one. You should reproduce this document in your sketchbook, including the vocabulary words, then fill these in with the proper color. This will help you. There is also this form. This is a blending chart. You're going to put the colors in here and blend them. Those things need to be in your sketchbook, and I will be looking for them. So you're going to choose a color system, and there are other ones you can choose that are very pleasing to the eye, very harmonious, like analogous colors. Analogous colors are any 4 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. Blue, blue-green, green, yellow-green. 4 to 3 colors will work just fine, but they blend beautifully together and they give a sense of harmony. You can choose that one if you like. Another popular one are complementary colors. And complementary colors are a little tricky. You've got to be able to do them right, because if you mix them, they're going to turn gray on you. But next to each other, you have this vibrance where the red bounces off the green, the blue bounces off the yellow, and the purple bounces off the yellow also, sorry. They need to be exact opposite, and you need to match the color intensity properly to get that vibration effect that is so pleasing to the eye. Another option is just using one color or monochromatic colors. These are choices you will know by experimenting in your sketchbook. You want to have some practices on what colors you will actually use. You shouldn't just have one tracing and then one color. Look, I'm done. This is supposed to be you exploring. I will be looking at your sketchbook to see if you explored. As far as the design goes, it can be simple. This is just a platform to learn how to use color, but this does need to be done first. I believe all students at this point do have a rough of planes to put the color in, and if not, you should get that done before coming to class, and we'll work together on that. As far as a timeline, let's work in class next week and see where we are, but I'm going to think this project should be done within 10 to 14 days. Please check out the LMS board for the paperwork you need to put into your sketchbook and this video. And thank you very much.